What is up, you dirty little devils? Welcome back to more esports talk, breaking down this past Call of Duty weekend and the event itself, guys. Wow. As per usual, when it comes time for breaking these down, a whirlwind of ups and downs. Thank goodness for teams out there like Paris and LA Guerrillas. Been, struggling for some time now. At least, though, when it comes down to it, we'll see if they can improve. Make some changes. Paris maybe going to make some changes before CoD Champs. And speak of the devil as well, thanks to CDL Intel on the broadcast this past week and a supposed date for that CoD Champ set to be the last weekend of August, just 6 weeks away. I could not be more excited. But at the very least, when it comes time for predicting what a couple of teams do, at least we can say Paris and LA Guerrillas, we probably expected them to go out like they did this past weekend. The remaining 6 teams, though, maybe not so much. Also, for all the fans out there, or maybe some casual viewers as well, keep in mind this past weekend we had 2 top teams, that being Dallas Empire, Florida Mutineers, not there, which makes these results just make you really think about. If you guys want to leave one comment down below, who would you say are your top 6 teams right now? I would say we have a definitive split between our top 6 and our bottom 6 teams out there, so how would you rank them as well? Speaking of one of our top ranking teams, that being FaZe Clan, continuing to look I would say a bit concerning, especially with all of these meta shifts. You got to keep that in mind. They are obviously one of our better teams still, but with the constant shifts, the AUG GA this past weekend, they were practicing for a couple of days, and according to Simp as well, a couple of meta shifts out there, which we saw this past weekend, by the way. SMGs, underwhelming. I believe of the 16 SMGs, only a handful going positive. Again, despite being online, you got to throw a lot of wrenches in there as well. By the way, Toronto finally managed, after a close series in their recent past with FaZe Clan, to actually, or I should say Atlanta FaZe, I'm going to do that every now and again, finally managed to take them down, as FaZe Clan do continue to look, especially early on in these events, maybe not so much like themselves. Then the Huntsmen managed to beat the Subliners early on in a close game 5. Keep that in mind. Subliners then go on a tear after losing their opening map against the Royal Ravens. They then, well, we'll touch on that in a second, guys, but at least when it comes time for their 2 next series, taking down the Royal Ravens and the Toronto Ultra in pretty easy fashion. Chicago then 3-0 FaZe, leaving us wondering because they looked so dominant. When it comes time for that series, guys, I'm sure a lot of you are on Twitter as well, and of course watching the series, record-breaking viewership, at least for quite some time. When it comes time for the first matchup ever of the entire Call of Duty League, it's just it's so enjoyable to watch Call of Duty with all these storylines and these backgrounds that keep on going in the community. It's why I really do enjoy watching these events. But Chicago making it look so easy that everyone and their mom, especially on the broadcast talent list as well, was predicting it should be, when it comes down for New York versus Chicago, either a 3-0 or a 3-1 in favor of the Huntsmen. And boy, oh boy, does online Call of Duty and Call of Duty in general continue to be surprising, because it's actually New York coming away with a 3-0 sweep. By the way, congrats to Donnie or Temp, his first chip, albeit, yes, it's an online chip, but hey, a chip is a chip out there, guys. Congrats to New York, by the way, breaking somewhat of a home field advantage curse. I don't think we've seen too many teams out there do well when it comes time for their home series, and this just throws another freaking wrench. What I talked about earlier, guys, and asked for your comment about your top 6 teams out there, I would say in no particular order. We have the Huntsmen, we have Florida, we have FaZe, we have Empire, then now we have New York as well, and I would say maybe what? Would you throw London in there? I would think that'd be my 6th team. Maybe Minnesota. London take Minnesota down this past weekend, so I might give them that edge when it comes time for teams out there who have already won home series events. God, our top 5, especially now with New York being the latest winner and looking so much improved. Now, we have already seen their improvement ever since MacMelts did join. It seems the meta only attunes to that even further, helping bolster this New York roster. So what to think? And then you add in this, it's online. You just never know, because series go back and forth and back and forth. After Chicago beat FaZe, I think a majority of us thought this was over, right? This is another lock-in for the Huntsmen. I would have loved that, because, it seems our videos do a bit better when the Huntsmen do a bit better. But I love this all the more because we have top 5 at least, if not 6, contending teams out there as we head into, we are right around the corner, guys. It makes it very hard to wonder what is going to happen. You guys, of course, can leave your thoughts down below. One last thing to touch on as well. We had a video out there yesterday because we were very confused about Rich Campbell, Call of Duty League talent out there, and his future. He did unfortunately announce just last night, guys, his contract with Call of Duty League will not be renewed on his own part. apparently was up in the air to be offered to him as well. I'm going to miss that guy. I really am. I showed you guys in that video yesterday some of his goofy clips. He is so outspoken, and it almost makes me sad. Maybe obviously I follow Call of Duty League a bit closer more than the casual person, but I felt attached because we have lost so many talent this year alone. It's just kind of sad to see. He will be pursuing full-time live streaming. In case you guys were curious of that crazy backstory, he was actually fired by Blizzard for a second time. People thought because Activision Blizzard is the overall company, he was probably fired from Call of Duty League as well. That was not the case. We saw him this past weekend doing, as Rich does, some great moments, funny moments as well. And he has now announced he will be done with both Blizzard events and of course Activision events now too, going full-time live streaming. He still will be hosting events when it comes time for the World of Warcraft scene with people like Huntsmen, but it's just we've lost a lot of talent this year. Some for different reasons than others, but it's a crazy continuation, guys, and I hope you all enjoy as per usual. What did you think of this past weekend? It was pretty nutty. I don't know what to think when it comes time for online Call of Duty, which is going to continue all the way until champs. It's going to be utter madness. I hope you guys can stick around to watch it here. Until next time, take care. You know what to do, all right? Drink that water, drink that coffee. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.